Up with KREM begins now.
We start with a live look right now. Take a look. Snow all across the inland northwest, in the mountains and in the lowlands and the valleys. Snow really hitting our region pretty hard overnight. Here's another live look for you this morning. Taking a look at road conditions at I-90 and Fancher. You can see I-90 looks like WashDOT got to this area and really did a good job at making sure drivers would be okay on the morning commute. Nonetheless, though, it could still be very slick this morning. Thanks for waking up with us here on Up with KREM. I'm Tim Pham. Whenever severe weather hits, you can depend on the Up with KREM team to keep you informed and safe. We have live team coverage for you this morning. We have some school delays and closings to tell you about coming up here in a little bit later in the show, but we want to start with Brandon T. Jones and Nicole Hernandez. Brandon's keeping a close eye on road conditions, but we start with Nicole tracking today's forecast. And Nicole, everyone wants to know, what is a snow squall? I know when we got those alerts on our phones, a lot of people had to look up, what is a snow squall?
Yeah, Tim, I'll explain it more in depth in a couple of minutes, but on the surface level, a snow squall is basically a snow event that happens very quickly without much warning, lasts not very long, and is very intense in how that snow is falling. And if you were outside at all during that yesterday evening, you know that's exactly what happened here in Spokane. We actually broke a record for the daily snowfall. So for that day specifically in history, we saw 7 inches yesterday, and the previous record was 6.9 back in 2013. So big deal, a lot of snow. This morning, what that means for us is the road conditions are really not great. Right now behind us, I-90 looks to be moving pretty smoothly. There's enough traffic on the road to, warm it up and keep things from being too slick. But just in front of us, that frontage road to I-90 is very different. There's a ton of snow on it, and it's very slick this morning. The snow, where it did fall, ended up being pretty wet and heavy, and because of that and the freezing temperatures, it's now frozen and turned into some ice. Because of that, we are under a weather impact alert for today. The weather impact alert is for just this morning because of our dangerous morning commute. The crazy thing about this, though, is if you weren't in the snow squall, you didn't really get much. Some people in our region got up to that 7 to 8 inches of snow, but others just got a dusting. I'll explain more about that coming up in our main weather forecast.
We do also have Brandon T. Jones watching road conditions for us this morning. Brandon is in the KREM 2 Storm Tracker. So Brandon, let us know about where you are this morning and how are the roads? Good morning.
Good morning, Tim, Nicole. Well, we have made our way over to Cheney right now. Road conditions have kind of been hit or miss here and there, depending on where your location is. The arterials, the main roads, the crews have done a phenomenal job. They're getting most of those cleared out. Your neighborhood's probably going to be a little bit more difficult to navigate. Again, we are here in Cheney right now. You can see the roads in front of us. Got a good amount of, a dusting on the roads right now at this point. But again, we've seen plows all over the place this morning. Right here in Cheney, though, this is something we found. This was pretty cool. We didn't even know this. Me and Al, our photojournalist who's driving right now, didn't even know about this. So this is something beautiful we just wanted to talk about. We get our little Christmas wonderland. I know it wasn't a white Christmas by any means, but whoever is responsible for this in Cheney, I want you to know you are doing a phenomenal job. It looks absolutely beautiful. We'll pop back in front of us to just show you again the road conditions. Something we did run into was just a lot of water out on I-90. So you can possibly hydroplane. So again, give yourself a good amount of time to just give yourself distance from that car in front of you, because you never know when you're going to hit like a nice little icy spot or maybe slippery conditions. That way you can have enough time to react. But give yourself time to get the cars dusted off as well, because there's certainly going to be snow on top of those. We know that can make dangerous conditions as well if you're out and driving with that on top of your vehicle. For now, though, live in the Storm Tracker, Brandon T. Jones, KREM 2 News.
All right, Brandon, thank you. Yeah, what a beautiful display there. Here's a live look from I-90 and Broadway in your traffic impact this morning. As you head out the door, as Brandon mentioned, some of those side roads and residential areas will be a little dicier than the interstate. Interstate looks like it is mostly cleared. WashDOT, of course, treated the roadways overnight. We'll keep a close eye on traffic, but again, have grace with each other. Go slow. Give yourself plenty of distance in between you and the vehicle in front of you, and we will keep you updated here on the show and let you know if there's any major problems. Just into our newsroom, we are learning of some school delays to report to you this morning. We have 4 so far. If there's more, we'll be sure to keep you updated, but let's get you to the list here. Right now, these schools are on a 2-hour delay. We have West Valley, Wilson Creek, and Liberty School Districts all on a 2-hour delay. Meantime, East Valley School District on a 90-minute delay. So again, we are keeping a close eye on school delays and closings. Be sure to stick with us here on Up with KREM and KREM.com for a full comprehensive list. Well, there are a lot of snowplows out on the roadways and highways this morning. Here are a few reminders to make sure you are safe. First, give the plows plenty of room to work. Avoid tailgating and passing, and watch out for that cloud of snow that follows the plow as it works. If you are driving too close, it could really reduce your visibility. And speaking of road conditions, I-90 near Four Lakes interchange back open this morning after a series of crashes. Look at this. It caused a big mess. This was the scene last night. WashDOT had to shut down all westbound lanes around 8:30 last night. Crews were able to reopen one lane around 11:30 p.m. WSP is reporting 2 semis got into a crash and one was leaking fuel. WashDOT did share they were delayed opening the freeway because people were driving and blocking the shoulder. They are reminding everyone to stay in their cars and leave the shoulder clear for emergency vehicles. Well, if you are going to be out shoveling this morning, be prepared for a heavy, wet snow and make sure you are listening to your body. Research shows that many people may face an increased risk of heart attack or sudden cardiac arrest after shoveling heavy snow. So here are a few tips from the American Heart Association that could help you lower your risk. Give yourself breaks as needed. Don't eat a big meal before or soon after shoveling. Use a shovel or snowblower if you have one. Do not drink alcohol before or right after shoveling. And if you have any concerns or don't feel well, get medical help, especially if you are having a heart attack or stroke. You definitely want to call 911 right away. And if you can, maybe help out a neighbor this morning and shovel their sidewalks. We want to know what it looks like where you are. That's why in our wake-up call today, we are asking to see your pictures and photos. Look at all these different angles of what it looks like where you are. You could even maybe break out the tape measure and let us know how many inches of snow you got where you are. But most of the inland Northwest got a good amount of snow last night, finally looking like winter in our region. Again, you can text in your photos to 509-448-2000. We'll be sharing them throughout the morning. Our snow coverage continues on KREM 2+. Check it out for live looks throughout the inland Northwest this morning, including extended coverage from our KREM 2 storm tracker as Brandon checks out road conditions. Download KREM 2+ on your TV and watch for free. The time now is just about 6:09. Questions growing this morning after an ICE agent shot and killed a woman in Minneapolis. We do want to warn you that the video may be hard to watch. Video shows ICE agents surrounding an SUV. Agents reportedly order the driver out of the car. The driver appears to put the car in reverse and then pull away. This is when an ICE agent fired into the SUV, killing the driver, 37-year-old Renee Good, who is a U.S. citizen. The mayor of Minneapolis blamed the Trump administration, while the Department of Homeland Security calling the shooting self-defense.
Our officer followed his training. She then proceeded to weaponize her vehicle, and she attempted to run a law enforcement officer over.
They are already trying to spin this as an action of self-defense. Having seen the video of myself, I want to tell everybody directly, that is bull.
Right now, the shooting is under investigation. The ICE agent who shot Good has not been identified but was taken to a hospital and later released. The Department of Homeland Security says the agent was also involved in another incident with an ICE protester back in June. New this morning on Up with KREM, someone died in a crash along Highway 95 in Viola, Idaho. That's just north of Moscow. The Idaho State Police says the driver of an SUV was turning onto southbound Highway 95 when the driver of a semi-truck going southbound had to make an emergency maneuver to avoid hitting the SUV. The trailer of the semi-truck hit the SUV, causing the driver to lose control, rebound off a guardrail, and then got hit by a pickup truck. The crash shut down Highway 95 for about 5 hours. ISP confirming the driver of the SUV died on scene. The driver of the pickup truck had to be airlifted to a hospital. We want to let you know that our KREM 2 News family is growing. We are welcoming a new team member on Monday. Here's a hint. She's from the area and is excited to be back home. Join us on January 12th to welcome KREM's new evening anchor to KREM 2 News at 6 p.m.